Hello everybody, and today I'm going to share my thoughts and first impressions on Etheria Restart. This is an upcoming gacha game that is very similar to Summoner's War and Epic 7. It's really just more of a modern take on those two kinds of games with a lot of quality of life additions, but for the most part the core gameplay is going to be very similar to those two kinds of games. If you're not familiar with Summoner's War or Epic 7, they're largely separated into three modes of gameplay. You have a PvE section that will be mostly the story. There's going to be like a sort of tower of sorts. So for this game, it is probably the Abyss Challenge. But for like Epic 7, there was the Abyssal Tower, which is just level after level after level of challenging fights with the AI that you really have to sort of build your team around, get them all geared up, and it is sort of like the challenging end game mode for PvE. In addition, there's going to be a PvP mode versus the AI. This is really going to take the form of the arena. So I think it's this one right here, the Etheria. You go in here, you challenge a set defensive team of another player. We're gonna go into this guy. This guy looks a little weak, so we can just go in here, and I'm probably just gonna auto it. But you select your team, hit battle, you can auto away because it's just all AI. But this is going to be a portion of the gameplay that you have to build your characters around in order to climb the ranks and get more rewards. And there is a guild system as well. Yep, they're cooked. There's a guild system as well that also features some cooperative play where you do have to go into your guild, take down a boss, do as much damage as you can, and you get more rewards that way. So we get our little victory right here. We do this 5 times a day, get our rank up, increase our points, and whatever our rewards are at the end of the week. Which we can see over here with our rank. Nope, that was incorrect. The rewards, the rank rewards, and you just get a lot of pull currency for your ending rank rewards. But that will be the second kind of game mode of the game, is the PvP arena with the AI. And then lastly, for the more tryhards, the sweats, the big spenders of the game, there's going to be a PvP arena with live players. So that arena will feature live play against another player with a ban phase for certain heroes, and then you do have to sort of like build your team and counter picks around whatever that other player is picking. And it is going to be a much more hardcore, much more difficult game mode, and really the true end game of this game. So that's kind of like the 3 different modes that these kind of games revolve around. And with it being PvP, there is going to be a inherently favorableness towards spenders, either light spenders or just straight up whales. And not because they'll be able to get more characters or duplicate characters, which certainly will play a part, but duplicates are far less valuable in this game than in other games. Where the real advantage comes from is refreshing your stamina. So when you're at the point of grinding out your gear, because gear is going to be everything when it comes to kind of getting your team online, chasing those perfect stats so that you can overcome sort of like mirror matchups if you're following the meta. What that's going to come down to is how often you can farm your end game, your gear stages. And so for free-to-play players, you're going to be mostly restricted to your stamina potions, your stamina refreshes, while spenders are going to be able to dump everything, dump all of their crystals into refreshing their stamina to allow them to farm their farming stages much more. They get gear faster, they get better gear more faster, and it allows them to excel in those PvP game modes. So that's where the advantage comes with spenders in these kind of games. But I do still enjoy this kind of game. I played Epic 7 for around 3 or 4 years before I eventually fell off of the game. But it was more so that I fell off due to sort of a lack of quality of life features within that game. And I did find that there was, I don't know how the balance is now, but there was a very, very rough period where the balance was just kind of asinine in terms of which characters were the meta. A lot of the standard red, blue, green characters were just kind of mediocre, and everything kind of revolved around the light and dark characters in the game, and those were way much harder to come across and pull. So I don't know how things are going to evolve in Etheria, but it's probably something that I will stick with rather casually until things develop in a way that, you know, maybe will make me drop the game. But as far as like the gameplay loop and progressing your characters and building up your characters, I really do enjoy this character building system where you could see like all of your characters are going to have all very loaded kits in what they can do, and you can kind of see who they work with, who they mesh with, based off of what their skills are and, you know, the certain buffs they provide or the debuffs that they provide, or the debuffs that they'll have against the enemy. So I really love that aspect of team building, in addition to like their gearing system with both your standard gears and your shells, which is, if I were to make the shells as like some sort of equivalent to a modern game, your modules are basically your like gears, your relics, or your artifacts, if we're talking like Hoyoverse games, relics or artifacts, and then your shells are actually like the weapons, but they're more interchangeable and they do add to your character build as well. And there's no banner for these, so you don't have to waste your pull currency on these guys either. But it's basically a combination of building your characters with certain shells that are going to give you certain set bonuses, as well as random passive effects on top of your modules. And I like this like numbered system as well with the sets. So every set is going to require you to have 4, 8, or 12 to get the maximum bonus, the min, middle, or maximum bonus. So we see Onslaught here. The minimum bonus is 10%, the max is 45%. So you can load up your character with a 4 strike thing of Onslaught for the 10%, or you could give them all 12 for the 45. You could do like an 8 and an 8. And this goes with their shell and module. So you can see on this knight character I have here, I have her on Onslaught 5 and Swift Rush 5, and this is just basic gear you get at the start. I think they all max out at 3, and I think the shells can have like two different sets on them. I'm not really sure. Again, I'm still pretty early in, but you can have a variety of combinations where you can have like a 4-4-4 setup, or a 4-8-4, or I think maybe like a 4-8-8. I'm not sure. 12-8. But there is some option for gear building. Now, obviously, there's going to be a meta. There's probably going to be like 1 or 2, 3 sets that basically every character is going to run, such as speed, which gives you 35% speed with a 12 pointer. So that one alone is going to be very strong. But if you're not going to be hyper involved in RTA, then you can have the freedom to sort of like experiment around, which is something I really do enjoy. I really liked with Epic 7 just kind of throwing some oddball sets on the 3-star characters and running, you know, kind of like garbage units. And, you know, sure, I didn't get very far in the PvP modes, but I like taking, you know, 3-star built units into the raids, the you know, guild wars, the arena. And I mean, even with these kind of like mid garbage tier units, you could still technically get up to like the, I think it was what, master, whatever was after gold, champion, gold. It was bronze, silver, gold, and then the next one up. And you could still get to like that next one up above gold with some garbage units. And that was still like a respectable amount of like gem income per week. And that was fine for me. So that's something that I really enjoy about these kind of games, and what I'm kind of looking forward to in Etheria Restart. I think the story is whatever. I mean, obviously there's going to have like a story of just going through the motions of stuff. It's kind of like set up like Persona Labyrinths, where you just kind of go through a stage and there's enemies walking around. You can ambush them and, you know, have them disappear instantly if you get a sneak attack on them, or you could just skip them altogether, which I highly recommend because it doesn't cost stamina to skip them, where it does cost stamina to actually fight them, and they give you like garbage rewards. But one of the neat things about Etheria is a quality of life feature that I'm not sure if it exists in Summoner's War or Epic 7. I mean, those games are pretty old now, so they probably do have like this sort of feature in them. But what's coming to Etheria right out the gate is the ability to just kind of auto farm your farming stages. So your modules, for example, these are going to be your gears. This is what you'll be farming to get your gear and equip your characters. So what I can do is, if I wanted the attack set for this guy, which kind of don't want, really I want the speed set right now, but it doesn't matter. It's all going to get account wiped anyway. So I could go to hard 1. I got it 3-star. It's going to be an easy clear. I just go over to continuous battle for 10 rounds. Go in here, start battle. I got my team all set up. They're all ready to go. Hit battle and peace. See ya. So there it is. It's just running in the background, so I can drop that off right there. And then if I need to go over to, let's say, if I need more EXP to level up my characters, or if I just need a shell, we could go over to here, the boss mode of Apate, challenge you, go into this battle, and while that continuous battle is going off, I have Apate right here, and I don't know if I'm actually going to clear this, but we'll find out. All right, so let's not auto battle real quick. So one of the aspects that I like about these games is you have the action bar here, and there's characters that have various utility in manipulating this action bar. So like this guy here, Gray, who you get, he has a 100% boost on himself with his second skill, as well as a crit boost to your entire team. So he gets to go basically twice on his opener. He boosts his crit rate of your entire party, and then he gets to go again, and then you can just drop his ultimate. And so characters are going to have turn bar manipulations that you can kind of build around. They're going to have buffs and debuffs, and it'll require you to get, you may want to have like immunity set going on your team to sort of like negate the opening debuffs from the enemy. And there's just a lot that you can kind of do in building your team around what characters you have. We're going to just go ahead and auto this, because I don't actually think I'm going to be able to beat this one, which is fine. So I have Freya here, the banner unit. She's really a buffer, kind of debuffer to the enemy and a buffer to your team. Not much of a healer, and I think I do need to bring a healer into this fight in order to clear it. So my main DPS is about to go down. She's also disadvantaged because she's a red unit attacking into a green unit. Rip her. Yeah, so I'm not going to clear. We're just going to get out of here. Don't need to waste my time. And I do think I lost 2 stamina from that. But yeah, so if I needed more shells, I just go into here, fight, figure out what shell I want, go into it, farm them, and then you can combine these guys together. They also give you like cool passives as well. So this passive effect increases the attack, and you can actually replace those passives. Let's do that's actually pretty good. You don't have one, do you? Yeah, HP, we don't care about HP. So if we wanted to reconfigure, so we can increase the attack. Yeah, let's overwrite. So now his new passive is attack by 6%. We can reconfigure again, see what we get. Increase attack by 30 points. I don't want that. And it does look like there's different rarities as well. You could get like see a blue rarity, the next rarity up. It does cost money to reroll, so you can kind of do this to chase that the gold passive. But that's probably going to be something more for that's going to be probably something more for like the ends, the final level of these shells. So that's not something to worry about right out the gate. And I mean, another great thing I like about the game is just the quality of the character models. Everybody looks really good. Leon, you get for free. She's your free SSR rank character. There is a rate up, or I guess not a rate up, but a SSR selector banner that you get a SSR in 40 pulls. I ended up choosing this chick here because she looks pretty cool. You could basically kind of just pick the meta RBG character on that banner, get them in 40 pulls, and you're good to go. I think it's like what, Tiamat or something. But yeah, and then you have the rate up banner right now. Freya, I mean, she looks great. Fantastic model. Unit that buffs your team and allows you to kind of debuff the enemy as well. It provides a little bit of healing on the side. You get some free characters that are pretty good as well. Gray gives an AoE defense down, boosts the crit rate of your party, and really the SRs do also seem to have some pretty good use as well. I mean, obviously there's Gray. You have Sanya as kind of like a healer. You know, I'm using Dinah and Obero as well in some of my teams. I mean, they look cool. They're pretty interesting. But again, like all the characters are just great models, great voices. But yeah, so you got a couple of guys too as well. Unfortunately, a lot of them are regulated to the SRs. There's a couple of SSR guys though. But oh look, we got a little achievement, so our thing is done. But yeah, all the characters are pretty cool looking. And they're gonna have their various uses as well. Even the R ranks will probably have like budget use. And you can technically get them all the way up to the maximum 6-star as well. Their base stats are going to be a lot less, obviously, than the SSRs, but I mean, if you make it work, you can make it work. The game looks pretty good so far. I mean, obviously, it's still pretty early on. I'm super early on, and I don't have access to everything. Just not a lot of time to sort of explore around unless you're like giga refreshing all the time before the launch comes out. And I can't really say anything too bad just yet. I mean, I do have some concerns just based off of how, you know, Epic 7 or Summoner's War developed, which is really a strong over-reliance on the light and dark units to be sort of like the meta units. and the light and dark units are much more difficult to come by because they do require a different little disc to pull. There is this limited banner right here, which does require 3 times the amount of currency for a 10 pull versus the standard. I don't want to do that. So a 10 pull with the standard discs it's only 1,000 crystals versus the 3,000 crystals you have to spend on here. But the big upside is that it is 100% guarantee on the banner and at 100 summons. So once you get up to 100 summons, you will automatically get the character, and it's guaranteed to be this specific character for these limited banners. Now you can actually get the light and dark units in the standard banner. Checking out the probability here, you have your RBG units having a 0.75% chance to drop, and then your light and dark units have a 0.25% chance. So, and then in my experience so far, it did take me the full 100 summons to actually get the limited unit. So that kind of sucked, but I did get her guaranteed. So it is a trade-off. You could get them early, but it just didn't it just didn't work out for me. But yeah, so that is one of my big concerns, is the focus on the meta being around the light and dark units and making them kind of necessary to sort of climb past, you know, the medium tier ranks in sort of like arena or in guild battles, and just kind of ignoring the RBG units or making them just so significantly weaker than light and dark units that it's not even worth pulling for the RBG units. That's a concern that I do have in the direction this game could go, as well as focusing far more on the PvP aspect of the game with the arenas, instead of sort of balancing between the PvE side and the PvP. A lot of, you know, Epic 7 for a long period of time. I don't know if they improved this at all in, you know, the recent years. But back when I was playing Epic 7, PvE was basically dead. You had the 120 floors of the Abyss, and then a hard raid difficulty, and then that was it. Everything else was all packed into the PvP modes. You know, building all of the characters around PvP, restructuring characters, redeveloping characters around PvP modes, and like killing their PvE utilities. It just kind of sucked as somebody who primarily played for the PvE aspect, and that's one thing that I am concerned about Etheria doing, and I would like them to avoid going forward. Another neat little thing that kind of might mitigate their focus on LD units is the sort of outfits they have. So you could actually buy some outfits for your character, as well as your bot little thing. I don't know what this thing is, but it all costs real money. And then your character outfits you'll buy for the crystals, which you can also buy for real money. And if they do go that route with cosmetics, with outfits for your character or outfits for your animuses, which, you know, they do have like an outfit tab. She looks pretty good. It's just a recolor, but they do have outfits for characters. And if they do go that route and make those the more lucrative monetized option, I think that could increase overall character balance going forward, because they'll be making a lot of their money from, you know, cosmetics, outfits, costumes, that sort of thing, which I would greatly more prefer over them pushing out a new character every month or whatever, and every character is just better and better and better than the other. New character creates a problem, the other character after it solves that problem, which, you know, is a predatory character development that I'm just not a big fan of, that is kind of going on in other games currently. So that's just some of my concerns, but again, I really do enjoy the gameplay of these kind of games, so I am excited for it. Cautiously optimistic. Again, it is a kind of game that I really do enjoy playing as sort of like a side game, second monitor kind of game that I can just farm on my second monitor while I do other things, and then, you know, just jump into the arena for a bit and, you know, try and test out different character combinations, different team combinations. So that's something I really do enjoy about this kind of game, so that I'm hoping that it actually turns out pretty good. So I'm just gonna do a couple summons to end off the video. Let's see if I could get lucky in the standard banner. You do get an SR every 10 pull. So we got Kazuya the Reverie. It's pretty cool, and we got another one right there. If I could get an LD unit, that'd be pretty dope. Or if I could just get a SSR in the, you know, first 30 pulls, that'd be cool too. I don't think there is a guarantee on the permanent banner. Like 100 guaranteed, no. If you do not obtain an SSR after 50 consecutive summons, the drop rate will increase up to 80 summons. Okay, so there's an 80 summon pity on the permanent summon. After 50, you hit soft pity, and it goes up until you get a 5-star or an SSR. So there is some consolation. Oh shit, we get one right now. All right. Well, we're gonna see who we get, and then we're gonna end the video. You can check out Etheria restarts on I think June 5th or 6th. It's coming out next month. Who do I got? Marvel. He's pretty good. He's a really good debuffer. Oh my god, I got Messiah. This guy is kind of cracked. Holy shit, that's awesome. So with Messiah and Freya plus, you know, I could go with like Leon and I don't think my selected character Tsukio, I don't think she would fit all that well in. She's kind of like a buffer. So I'll be like running two buffers together. Leon, and then this guy's like a bruiser. So I don't know if I'm gonna go for her on launch. But yeah, this guy's awesome. Kind of sucks that it's gonna be a complete wipe on the server restart. We could do something like this. Let's get a bingo. But yeah, so this is Etheria restart. You can check it out if you want to check out the open beta. You could actually download it and play it right now. But again, none of your progress will carry over. So if you want to explore around the system, if you want to see the story or something, you can do that right now. And I think it's going on for like another few days, I think. Another week or so. But otherwise, the game will launch in the first week of June. So you can look forward to it then. So yeah, that'll be all for my thoughts right now. Cautiously optimistic is where I'm sitting at. And again, I think it could have an opportunity to be a pretty good game. I don't think it's going to make any sort of waves. It's for sure not going to be up in the upper tiers like any of the Hoyoverse games or Wuthering Waves. This game is not their competitor. It is not going to be kind of targeting the same audience as those players. It is going to be in the same realm of Summoner's War and Epic 7. The players who are playing those games, if they're looking burned out, if they're dissatisfied with the state of those games, this is going to be a game for them. And it's really going to probably impact Epic 7 and Summoner's War more than anything. So it's going to probably float around where those games do in terms of, you know, their revenue and everything. Just based off of like the demographic that this kind of game appeals to. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Etheria Restart as of right now. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of Etheria Restart. Are you interested in the game? Are you going to check it out? Or is this a hard pass because of the PvP aspect of the game? Let me know down in the comments below. Perfectly understandable if this is not going to be your speed. The PvP aspect is for sure not for everybody. But yeah, I'll be interested to hear your thoughts. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you for the next one.